What's good everyone, it's Smudger here. Let's talk about Platinum ARs, which are, in case you were not aware, 25 long shots with each assault rifle in order to unlock it. Honestly, really not too bad. It's all in the build and it's all in the map choice. So we'll run through a build for each gun that I used. By no means is this going to be everyone's personal preference. Play around, there's a hell of a lot of attachments. This is what I ran on each of them, starting with the M4. Pretty much just prioritised damage range and accuracy. That's all I really prioritised. I even messed around with the tuning a little bit just to see what we could get going. It didn't make much of a difference, but then I didn't really spend too long on it, so it didn't really matter in the end. I think I flipped between a stock and a rear grip for this. I can't remember off the top of my head. Something along the lines of that. The barrel and the ammo was where the important parts were, and the sight is personal preference. I'm just blind, so the 4 times is quite helpful. Moving on to the tack, we have an incredibly similar build. Whatever silencer gives you the maximum bullet damage, because it always seems to be the silencers that do that. And then we have the longest barrel for bullet damage, the high velocity ammo, the 4 times optic wherever it's gone. You may be sensing a pattern here already, and then a good old grip on the back. Pretty simple stuff. Let's just keep it rolling. On the Camo 762, I believe I ran this silencer with the longest barrel once again, which is this one. 4 times sight that I'm not going to go looking for because it takes ages. The high velocity ammo once again, and the grip. Pretty simple stuff. You've probably seen a pattern by now. For the Lockman 556, we're going to put on the same silencer as before, the longest barrel, which is this one, I believe. 4 times sight, but whatever sight you wish to put on. I think I used a stock for this because I made it in-game, kind of mid-game, and didn't really think about too much. And high velocity ammo. Super simple. By all means mess around, you can tune it if you want, so it really prioritises bullet range, but there's nothing really to worry about. It's a pretty decent gun. And then we have the STB, or the AUG, let's be honest. As always, we're going to put on a silencer, the longest barrel, which is this barrel, I believe. This one's technically longest. I don't think I had it unlocked. I think that might be an LMG barrel. I'm pretty sure I used this one. I can't lie. Whatever optic you wish. The grip was, I think I used flinch resistance, and then high velocity. Pretty simple stuff. This was definitely felt a little bit bouncier than I remember. I don't think I had it set up to its greatest potential. We'll get onto that a bit later when we hit the best maps for it. The good old M16. This was fun to use, and by fun I mean soul destroying. Everything's pretty standard on it. You do everything you can to make it less crap. And you don't really succeed, but you try anyway. We'll hit a bit later when we get to the best maps how to deal with this, but it's not a great gun. It's really quite painful. Just bear that in mind. I'm sure if you've got it gold, you're already well aware of that. Then we have the Camo 74U. Honestly, exactly the same as every other gun we have looked at. Whatever optic you wish with those 4 attachments is what I used. It's a hell of a gun. It's the best AR in the game currently, so there shouldn't be too many issues with this, I will say that. And finally, we'll end it with the Camo 545, exactly the same as all the other builds. Whatever optic you wish to put on there with some high velocity ammo. Super easy. This took me a single game to get all my long shots in. And those are all your builds that I used. I've seen a few people request some builds, so there's 8 different builds for you to try. Map choice, I think, is the most important aspect of this if you are struggling. And I will just say before we dive into map choice is make sure you equip a deployable cover when you go into battle, just because it gives you a movable surface to mount your weapon on. As far as maps go, you do have to map surf a little bit. I have preferences. Albagra Fortress is a fantastic one. Hotel is a fantastic one. You can sit by where A flag is in domination and mount up looking into kind of the main hall and shoot people that come out from underneath the arches, and that is a guaranteed long shot. On El Asilo, who knows? There's a lot of long lines of sight, especially if you're playing hardpoint and people moving around the map. Hell of a lot. You can use the trees to mount on if you're struggling, or bring a deployable cover. I tended to run pro with deployable cover and an ammo box, but that's lots of long lines of sight. I think most people know that the main kind of street in Embassy, the middle lane, is a long shot area. Kind of gives shoot house vibes. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it was more than doable. Farm 18's a bit hit and miss. By far, though, I think most people know this, is Mercado Las Almas is the greatest long shot map currently available. That central street is major shoot house vibes. There's places to mount up on both sides. I was a big fan of climbing up on the caravan. It's an RV, isn't it? And putting deployable cover down and just mounting my weapon on that and frying anyone that came past. So much easier like that. I highly recommend map surfing for Mercado Las Almas. Crown Raceway was okay. Hotel was fantastic, and so was Fortress. I tended to stick to Fortress, Hotel and Las Almas were my three preferences. I've seen some people recommend Ground War, but it's so big open spaces, you spend half your time looking for players. It's really not worth it. And an honourable mention does go to Tarak as well. Some lovely lines of sight for you to use, and lots of space between cover for enemies to get trapped in. Things to bear in mind when you are going for long shots. With ARs, they need to be 37.5 meters away from you, 38 meters just to be safe. That is why game modes like Hardpoint, Headquarters, Domination, even Kill Confirmed, anything that's going to give you a actual tally on your distance from a set point is really useful. Helps you gauge your shots a little better, let the enemy run that extra couple of meters before you shoot them. Super useful, because I think pings are still disabled at time of recording, at least on PC they are. So it's nice to have that reference point. Mounting your weapon if you are struggling with recoil is the single greatest thing you can do. It just removes all recoil. I'm sure most people know this, and I still don't see enough people doing it. That is why you bring a deployable cover to the fight, because it just makes your life so much easier, trust me. I'd also bring an ammo box using the Field Upgrade Pro thing, purely because you're going to run out of ammo if you've got yourself in a good spot. You don't want to relinquish that. It's easy to have enough ammo on you if you're going to have an ammo box in your back pocket. I think it was already a given the way to gauge your distance, but objective based game modes are best. It forces people to move for the most part. It's going to keep people at least running to and from an objective. Something like team deathmatch, people just sit there, mind their own business and don't move for 10 minutes like their controller's broken. And realistically, you're already going to be doing minimal movement once you find your long shot potential on a map. So you need the others to be doing that for you, and objective based game modes are the best for that. And that is Platinum ARs. Done and dusted until we hit polyatomic. But we're not going to think about that right now, because we're going to move on to LMGs. If you got any other questions though about ARs, Platinum or Gold, let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to help. And as always, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.